Okay, it's another family in my work, which is this kind of cells that I built up in many places in the world, where people could be in a certain intimate space or position. That is in Tuscany, and in a beautiful field of olive trees. That is in Tokyo, where I did many. Also transform it into certain kind of benches. The people who probably knows my work, they knows that I'm trying always to try to invite people to come. You know? That it's probably the main obsession, to try to put people in touch. I guess art has enormous qualities, but one of the best quality is, which is just an excuse. And I'm trying always to create this simple excuse to put people in touch. And in Tokyo it's very nice when you see people sitting in my pieces and start to talk. That it's really beautiful. That is also in Tokyo. It's in Daikaniyama. It's a pedestrian area, and I display this kind of works, following the idea of an old legend in Tokyo, in Japan, sorry, which is the 7 deities of good fortune. And each of these cells, these benches, are talking about one of those deities. Everyone has one of the colors of the rainbow, and the biggest one, is, let's say, where people could meet and talk about it. And you probably also understood that in my work I'm always trying to take very little elements from which I'm develop the big thing. That means I'm always starting from the smallest to go to the greatest, something like that. I like the idea of bricks. I'm casting those bricks since many years to build up this kind of transparent houses. I'm working with leathers. You probably saw it in my show. I'm working with symbols, with gongs, with drawings, with shoes, but small elements that all together could try to create a certain body. Maybe a finger is nothing, an eye is nothing, an ear is nothing, but all together it's Mr. Plensa. And that it's something very interesting. That it's a very interesting piece that I did years ago for a museum in Germany, in Hanover. And it was a piece called Love Sounds. Love Sounds because inside each cabin, it was the sound of my bloodstream. Well, as you probably know, it's probably the most fundamental sound in our body, but we are not allowed to hear that sound. Probably when we are inside our mother, we hear the sound of her, but not our sound. And I think I did the most beautiful present to the visitors. I'll give you my sound. And that was that pieces, and I record the sound in different parts of my body. And I could tell you, which is a beautiful experience. I invite everybody to go to an hospital, not for something strange, just to hear the sound of their body. It's the real life, it's the real sound. And it's very beautiful. For example, over here, where the speed of the blood, it's really fast. I guess it's more than 2 meters, 2.6 meters per second. And it's like a tantric music, and it's going down. But here, the blood is trying to go to the brain, which is the most difficult. And it's, and I think it's, well, that it's a very important piece. I guess thanks to that piece, I did the project in Chicago. Today we have with us a person who was very important, Rob Frankel, and who was the manager of the project in Chicago. And he probably remembered that I did that piece many years ago, and that it was for my exhibition in Jeu de Paume in Paris, and people just fall in love and invite me to do that project. Okay, but the beauty of that piece, it was the mix of light and sound produced by natural elements. Because at that time I was casting iron, that was my material. It was a material which makes me well known around. But suddenly, I remember in the foundry, looking the iron coming out from the oven. It was just liquid, but it was just light, because when it's liquid, it's completely red, exactly that color. And the obsession was to try to catch other possibilities with the same elements. I mean, I don't believe sculpture is a problem of materials. I guess sculpture is a problem of attitudes, with the material, with the life, with politics, with elements, with your friends, with your society, and also it's a problem of time. And the way that the steel was pouring with that kind of fantastic color, it transformed completely. I stopped to cast pieces in iron, and I tried to catch, let's say, maybe the soul of that material. And I start to work in this kind of pieces. That one is called La Neige Rouge, red snow, because it's the feeling when you go inside this little chamber, it's completely covered by red color. And you can hear the sound of the electric transformers, which makes this strange sound. And people get really nervous when they are inside, because they feel that they could be grilled as a slice of bread. But it's completely mental. It doesn't work, never. I never lose a visitor, believe me. But they have the strange feeling that is hot and is dangerous. Okay, that is another kind of the species. That piece actually is in the National Collection. And it's a similar piece. I engrave it in each door. The same text that you found in the gongs in the exhibition, it's a text coming from the Song of Songs, which I think is one of the most beautiful and erotic poems that they never did. It's this idea of dream and desire, but really in a very high level. And this idea of dialogue, people really inside a place where they could be in a certain intimate place, I think is very beautiful. And the change lights permanently, very smoothly. I'm working, as you know, since many years with this kind of kinetic lights that they could move in different sequences, the colors, which produce a certain feeling of an aura, this energy that all of us are spreading around. Okay, that was an exhibition that I did in Mannheim and in the museum in Mannheim. And well, just to describe a little bit the colors, and a position of a similar piece that you can see in my exhibition. This kind of works called Tel Aviv Man. It's a piece that I started in Israel. And this concept that we are impermanently like a work in process. A human being is never finished, is always not ready. We need always to touch something. And that is the idea. It's unfinished pieces like that with letters.